His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq greets His Excellency the President of Uganda on his re-election as President of the Republic for another term. Health workers in the Sultanate reiterated their call in urging the public to continue adhering to COVID-19 preventive measures as the number of infections and patients admitted to hospitals increase once again. An extraordinary online meeting for GCC health ministers reviews the establishment of the Gulf Disease Control Center. Good evening. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sends a cabal of greetings to His Excellency Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, on the occasion of re-electing him as President for the Republic for a new presidential term. Health workers in the Sultanate of Oman reiterated their call in urging the public to continue observing COVID-19 preventive measures as the number of infection and patients admitted to hospital increased once again. With the prevalence of the new strains in a number of countries around the world, doctors in Oman confirmed that the risk of infection is still high, pointing out that some COVID patients are still in need of ventilators because of pulmonary fibrosis, while others require dialysis. The rapid infection of the new strain has left many developed countries burdened with loss in lives and prolonged health issues. The resurgence of infection has claimed over 1,500 lives in Oman so far, a tough reminder of what we have lost and what we can do as a community to break the chain of infection. The Ministry of Health announced the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the Sultanate reached 133,728, while the total number of deaths reached 1,527. The total recovered cases reached 126,572. The ministry indicated that the total number of inpatients reached 96, of which 23 are in intensive care units. The Sultanate of Oman, represented by the Minister of Health, participated in the extraordinary online meeting for GCC health ministers. The meeting discussed health decisions issued at the Sultan Qaboos and Sheikh Sabah summit that was held in Al Ula city in Saudi Arabia this month. The discussed decisions include the Gulf General Framework for the Public Health Plan for Readiness and Responses to Emergency, the Manual for Early Health Warning System, and the establishment of the Gulf Disease Control Center under the umbrella of the GCC Health Council. The Omani delegation was headed by His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Saidi, Minister of Health. The Minister of Health participated in the virtual World Health Organization meeting to launch the Non-Communicable Diseases NCD periodic report. The Omani delegation was headed by His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Saidi, Minister of Health and the Vice Chair of the Executive Board in the World Health Organization. His Excellency the Minister pointed out that with the spread of COVID-19, many challenges concerning its impact on NCD patients appeared. The matter has forced many health systems to prioritize non-communicable diseases and mental health in response to the pandemic. Now, preventive awareness of COVID-19 has been stressed by healthcare professionals from time to time, and the response of the community is well realized. But more need to be done by continuing to practice physical distancing, frequently washing of hands, wearing of masks, and other measures has to become a habit in people's everyday life.
In view of widespread of COVID-19 disease throughout the world and the emergence of the new variants in many countries like UK, USA, and South Africa, this new variant is characterized by a rapid spread between people and increased rate of hospitalization and death. We urge all the residents and citizens to continue practicing the preventive measures, and the most importantly, the mask wearing, the physical distancing, hand washing with soap and water or sanitizer. In addition to that, avoid gathering or organizing for gathering. Also, people who are coming from abroad, they need to stick and comply with rules of isolation as well as testing. And those who receive vaccine, they need to stick to the schedule of vaccination. The pandemic is not over, and it will not be over unless all the community members cooperate and take all the opportunity to reduce the spread of the disease in the country.
Coronavirus is increasing. We all need to stop, and we can. I was one of the first people to get infected, and I didn't know that I have infected many. Since then, I'm so careful, and I follow all preventive methods. So let's all do the same and try to prevent the virus.
Coronavirus is increasing like anything. What I do to protect myself and others is to really stick to the protective methods, no gatherings, and applying the physical distance. And I'm always having my mask on and frequently using the sanitizers.
To fight against this corona, what we do, we keep using mask. We used to sanitize our hand each and every time if we meet someone. We avoid to do shake hand, avoid to go to the public place like mall, cinema halls and other stuff. And we do social distancing.
We have to live with the current pandemic situation and be faithful in following the preventive methods. I follow, and I believe that many are following, but only few of them who are not. Please do change your behavior and follow the preventive methods so we all can stay safe.
Still to come in our news bulletin. A variety of authentic Omani handmade articles are famous in the Fanja Souk in the Wilaya of Bidbid in the Dakhiliya Governorate. Once again, welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. To address the situation and challenges being faced by commercial and industrial businesses and investment projects in the Governorate of North Al-Batina, His Excellency Qais bin Mohammed Al Yusuf, Minister of Commerce and Industry and Investment Promotion, met with officials in the Governorate of North Al-Batina. The meeting reviewed aspects of empowerment for youth and commercial projects and small and medium enterprises. The participants also discussed ways to simplify procedures and support for companies in the mining sector in order to develop wilayas of the Governorate. In order to protect livestock wealth in the Governorate of the Far from communicable and epidemic diseases, the Director General of Agricultural and Fisheries Wealth and Water Resources in the Governorate is implementing the National Immunization Project. The immunization teams in the Governorate covered 121,019 livestock during the period from the mid of October till December 2020. The target of the campaign is to immunize 200,000 livestock. Fanja Souk in the Wilaya of Bidbid in Dakhiliya Governorate is a renowned traditional market showcasing a variety of authentic Omani handmade merchandise. More details coming up in this report.
Fanja Souk in the Wilaya of Bidbid enjoys a prominent popularity among its customers. This souk holds the essence of the past. Despite modernity, the Omani vendors are keen to preserve its authenticity, selling handmade products in a group of small shops.
I have been here in this souk for almost 25 years now. Fanja Souk has become famous since our beginning in the old site, and tourists from around the world visit the souk.
This traditional market showcases a wonderful collection of goods, including handicrafts, pottery items, leather goods, antiques, handmade household products, and dried fish.
I'm just loving looking at the variety of things that have been made by local people. I think it's very important that they still continue and that the tourists can support local business.
These places always attract me because I think it's good to come and see the traditional side of Oman and the traditional potteries and the souks. It's always a good place to visit.
The primitive local products in the souk, especially the potteries, provide beautiful glimpses of the ancient history of the Omani people and their traditional crafts. Fanja Souk remains a popular destination for visitors from inside and outside the Sultanate due to its unique location and the traditional products sold here. From Fanja Souk, صالح مخلفان الرحبي, الداخلية, Governorate.
HoverSurf, a Russian urban air mobility company, started testing its Hover drone taxi, a flying vehicle that can transport passengers and cargo, expecting to produce the first production models of its drone taxi in 2021. More details in this report.
The drone taxi is the size of a standard sedan car. It can reach an altitude of 150 meters and cover a distance of up to 100 kilometers in one go. The drone taxi doesn't require the construction of special runways, as it can land on an ordinary parking lot and is also capable of maneuvering onto a parking lot and flying into a garage. It will be able to carry 2 people or up to 300 kilograms of cargo and to develop a speed of up to 200 kilometers per hour. The drone taxi is currently being tested at the Lushniki Stadium.
The hover taxi now has more chances of entering mass production. By the spring of 2021, the Moscow city government has plans to build a new platform for testing the drone. It will have a 5G signal and will make it possible to improve the drone's AI-based control system, which maps routes, operates the drone, and ensures flight safety.
For the time being, the prototype is testing the lift and cruise flight mode, whereby the takeoff, landing and horizontal flight are taken care of by different groups of engines, and is trialing a parachute system to be used in emergencies. Inventor and businessman Alex Atamanov, the founder of HoverSurf, began developing the drone taxi in 2018. HoverSurf expects to be able to produce the first production models of its drone taxi in 2021.
Indeed, these kind of taxis are good for medical field to transport patients direct to the hospitals. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq greets His Excellency the President of Uganda on his re-election as President of the Republic for another term. The health workers in the Sultanate reiterate their call in urging the public to continue adhering to COVID-19 preventive measures as the number of infections and patients admitted to hospitals increase once again. And the extraordinary online meeting for GCC health ministers reviews the establishment of the Gulf Disease Control Center. And now, to conclude, let's deliver this message. We may have to live with COVID-19 for quite some time, so let's not deny or panic and make our lives a misery. Let's learn to live with the reality and strictly adhere to the preventive measures. May God protect you and all of us. With that, we conclude this news bulletin, and good night to all of you. Stay safe and healthy.